Welcome back to the 87 Podcast. This episode is brought to you in association with AG Motors, Cambridge's leading garage, servicing MOTs, repairs, you name it, they do it. Cold storage, car storage, the works. They've got you covered. Aaron, how was that?
Could have mentioned AG, couldn't you?
Did I not?
No, you forgot. You didn't say
It's sponsored by AG Motors.
No,
Did I not?
No, you did, mate.
I said brought to you in association with AG Motors. AG Motors,
Can
AG
you
Motors.
just sip on that.
AG Chuffing Motors.
Cold, isn't it?
That's fucking cold. Anyway, if you are watching for another business and you want to sponsor our podcast or help us along our way, please get in touch. This is starting in Cambridge here, and it's going to be chuffing big. Mark my words. Back us, and we'll back you.
Yeah, look.
This is
what he does when he's tattooing me. He's tattooing me, it's like this.
Well, that's what my desk is like, all the leads and everything. I'm fucking all over the shop. Cheers.
It don't hurt doing this.
On that note, hello and welcome to episode number 3
Oi.
of the 87 Podcast. We have another guest. Would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Steve Tucker, Almost Angels, tattoo family.
The man.
Steve Tucker, thanks for coming in.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Been excited for this one.
It's kind of funny though, isn't it? Because as we sit here now, I think only one has been released.
Yeah.
So we have no real idea of how this is actually going down. Last week's episode which is going out this week, should be a good one. So if you haven't seen that, go and give it a watch. So we don't really know if anyone's liking it or not.
Mate, I've had some good feedback
Have
on the
you?
first one, mate, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Steve being one of them.
Nice one, Steve. Did you? So you watched? You listened or watched or?
Listened in the car. Obviously, as you can, by the Instagram, you can see what I put
on the
up
dash. That's pretty cool, that is.
there. Yeah.
I like the fact it's got me and not him on it.
What? I saw that picture. Looked like a nice motor.
Yeah.
What was it?
Nice. BM
BM.
X3.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get real close. You have to
Yeah.
get
What, like proper
That's
clothes?
it.
Yeah, like that.
Ooh.
It's like you're singing a sexy
Sensual.
song. Yeah.
Sit where you're going to sit with it in front of your face. All right then, gents. Episode 3, we made. That's good.
Let's go.
Happy
Number
days. All right, well then, Steve, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You boys might as well kick off with how you know each other, what the relationship is, and obviously you've got a story to tell today, which I think will be absolutely amazing about various bits and bobs, and we'll chew the fat from there, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
Steve Tucker.
Yep.
The Almost Angels, Ely.
Yep.
My tattooist. Funny that. The man.
Is this the bloke you were slagging off the other week?
Does this every time.
No, you've had some work done recently, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm often in there, and
I think you're in
the fourth.
fourth because you thought you was coming in.
I know. I
Last fourth, didn't you?
I nearly came in this month, and wouldn't have been much good, would it?
Nah,
No.
because I wouldn't have been there. So
So I'd walk straight out again.
yep.
Aaron tells me, Steve, that you're a top man, like a bit of a tattooing legend.
Well, I wouldn't say tattoo legend, but
He's modest.
Tell us the story. Start off. Start us on the
What, how I
beginning.
started tattooing?
What? It's a nice way to start. Just talk about it from the beginning, where you were brought up, your life,
Brought up
inspiration.
Brought up in Waltham Cross, just on the outskirts of Enfield. So lived there till, how old was I when I moved to Ely? 38 I was. Just had to get out. It started getting.
How
real
old was you
naughty.
then when you left?
Well, I was 38 when we left.
38 when
Yeah.
you moved out.
Yeah.
And was you tattooing then?
No. What? Basically, working in a factory, I was designing tattoos for people. I've always drawn. It's the only thing I was any good at school. My mum always knew where I was on a Friday because I had double games and double art.
Yeah.
Any other time, she didn't know where the fuck I was. I think he's at school, but I ain't sure. So always had a passion for tattoos. Pretty much because they was antisocial. Do you know what I mean? Everybody saw it as football hooligans, criminals, all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I just loved that side of it, I suppose. Just designing them for everybody. Sitting in a factory one day, geezer I was working with was just moaning, and everybody was saying to me, "Why don't you tattoo? Why don't you tattoo?" Reason I didn't tattoo is because you can't rub it out. But when it's on a bit of paper and you fuck it up, you can just rub it and it's job done. this geezer was sitting there, he was moaning about his missus, his kids, his life and everything else. And I thought, you know what, if I don't do something, this is going to be me in 10, 15 years' time. So bought a kit off of eBay, which I tell everybody not to do.
Got to start somewhere though, yeah?
Well, that's it. So I just basically got this kit turned up and I thought, fuck it, in for a penny, in for a pound. So, yeah.
Buying that kit is just a bit of intention, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Just like that's making a statement to yourself, look, I'm in.
That's it.
But that's it. I mean, you're always, you know what it's like, boys. You're always chasing a pound, aren't you? So, so I thought to myself, right, second income or whatever. Kit turned up. Everybody was like, "What are you doing? Is this another one of you get rich quick schemes?"
What job was
and
you
all?"
doing? You say second income?
The tattooing. I was going to
So you-
start the tattooing as a second income.
But what was the first income? What
I
was
was just working in a factory,
Okay.
putting lights together.
Right, fine.
You know what I mean? Sitting there, just
So you did a bit of crossover. So
Yeah. Yeah. So bought the kit, tattooed myself. It is shocking. I'll never, ever, ever cover it because it was the first one I ever did.
Yeah, no. What's it of?
I don't know what it is.
What's it meant to be?
for those of you
I
that
don't know.
For those of you that are listening, obviously if you watch him on YouTube or whatever, you can see, but he's pointing towards his crotch.
It's actually on my foot.
Oh, right.
Oh, I thought you...
He keeps saying, you know, I thought it's got to cover it up, but because it's cold and no one can see it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on my foot.
Fuck me.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I put it on my foot, did this tattoo, and it's so bad. But I will never ever,
What is it
ever
of?
change it. I don't. It's just some squiggle. I just thought I've got to see how I'll do
Right,
it.
it's
You
the
know what I mean?
sport.
Like,
What counts.
when I
Well,
started
that's it.
when I started my business, people wanted to see like case studies and stuff. So when the second one, did they say, "Go on then, let's see what you've done"? Is my squiggle.
It's a bit like
I'm a
that.
squiggle specialist. If you want any, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll show you. When, yeah. But
Well,
it
I'm
is
quite happy to see it now.
awful.
No, it's not your knob.
Yeah, trust me, I ain't on there.
Oh, can you imagine that? I'll tell you what,
I
there's
have
the-
tattooed a geezer's knob.
That is exactly the question I was just going to ask you.
Yeah,
You've tattooed a Corey.
yep.
Got
And
some
let's
of the
just say
questions I don't want to ask.
What?
The boy was blessed. There's no two ways. And that's,
But,
I
all right,
literally.
How big, Steve?
2 hands?
Well, no, it's one hand, but I was like that. Thumb on top. I shit you not. It's there, and I could bend it, and then tattoo.
So did you have to pull it straight?
Yeah. Well, because there's this misconception that you got to have hard on to get a tattoo on your dick.
Yeah.
But
You haven't, not if you...
Trust me, he
as long
didn't
as you
have one,
can,
'cause I'll-
as long as you can manipulate it and pull him and
well, it's stretch the skin, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did you tattoo on his knob?
1816, which is what I've got there, which is an old bike club that I used to belong to, like motorbike club, and that was our moniker. So
So he's got it on his...
he's got it on his helmet. Yeah. Well,
on his head.
no, not on his. Sort of like just above his helmet or below his helmet, however
sake.
you
Oh, right.
look at it. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Oh,
so
right.
yeah, big Scottish fella. Yeah, big Scottish
When you say
fella.
big, like
Big and big,
big and big.
big and big.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to give him a shout out or anything? Or?
Yeah, Don, he knows who he is. He
Don.
is the fucking Don.
All right. All right, Don.
So you bought you bought this eBay kit.
Yep.
Talk to us about the transition from being a novice to where you are now.
It's just practice. It was just that literally I tattooed myself. A couple of the guys at the factory I was working at obviously clocked on that I was doing it because I was going in with some shit on my arms that I'd put on there. And they was, "Can you tattoo me?" I was like, "Well, I ain't that good, so just bear with me." So a couple of the fellas showed me some tattoos and they was, "Can you do this one?" Just a couple of little tribals. So I did that. And then it just grew from there. And then before I know it, the tattooing was overtaking. People were coming to my house, which is obviously not what you're supposed to do, but
No.
probably shooting myself in the foot saying that. But
That's all right. It's been a
everyone
gone now.
does it. They call it scratching. Within the industry, it's called being a scratcher. But most tattoo artists have started at home because getting a tattoo apprenticeship is so hard at a decent studio anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, so yeah, that was basically what I was doing. It overtook my day job because I was getting home from work, then having a tattoo pretty much 7 days a week. So it was just a case of making that transition and thinking, right, fuck it, I've got to open a shop.
What amazes me is that obviously tattooing is, what's the word? You go through different phases of what's popular and what's not. So let's say you become a like a rock star doing the tribal stuff. As that's popular, all of your clients want this, want that, similar sort of work, and then you go for the koi cut. Remember the koi cut phase?
Yeah, it's quite a famous one. Isn't it?
Like, as an artist, you must have to constantly redefine your skill set. You know, like a lot of people do portraits. A lot of people do. You know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
yeah, you've got to be a good all-rounder. There's no two ways about it. There are people that pigeonhole themselves and they specialise in like specific styles of tattooing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, at the shop,
things change, don't they? Like,
well, that's it. At the shop we're at now, obviously Almost Angels, we've got such an eclectic range of artists there.
You do.
You know,
so if someone walks in, Steve, and says, "Look, I want this," you'll refer them to the best person in the shop that can deliver them the right service.
100%. I mean, obviously, all the artists at the shop are handpicked, and we've got them there. They are fantastic, each and every one of them. Obviously, I'd like to give them a shout out at some point.
Go on, do it now. Do it now.
So we got.
Tell us about the business and everything. Go on, go for it, mate. It's what you're here for.
Like, Faye owns, my wife basically owns a business. She is the matriarch. She is like top dog.
She's the chief, mate.
She is the chief. Do you know what I mean? And she is one hell of a girl. Like, I know she's my wife and everything, but that girl amazes me every single day. The drive and passion that she's got just to be better.
That's
you
powerful.
know what she's like.
Man, that's powerful hearing him say that, isn't it? About his missus, like, I love that.
Mate, I'll back him. She's a good girl.
She is a good girl, but like you and her are both cut from the same cloth. Do you know what I mean? You both started with nothing.
We're both quite similar, aren't we?
Do you know what I mean? And she can talk to him hours on end, and me and Britt just sit there. Like, don't know what.
That's bollocks. No, you don't. You have your own conversation. Mate.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, she is absolutely fantastic, and she is definitely the glue for that place. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome.
She's awesome. So we got. So obviously, Faye's the boss, the big boss. I'm just a studio manager. I only tattoo sort of like 2 or 3 days a week. I can't do it physically anymore. Do you know what I mean?
You can't shut your books, really, haven't you?
Yeah. I only tattoo sort of like the smaller tattoos now.
Like, you mean as opposed to like the big 20-hour pieces and stuff?
Well, that's it. I mean, the younger guys at the shop. I mean, we've got 2. You got Jodie. She come through an apprenticeship. She started with us. She was listed tiny. Well, she's about as big as that Coke bottle, isn't she? She is tiny. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when she started as well.
Yeah, and that girl is just incredible. You know what I mean? We're different with that Faye's different with the apprentices at the shop. Usually, in the industry, a tattoo apprenticeship is a non-paid position. So basically, they have a second job just to show willing, just to show how dedicated they are and everything else. But we actually pay our apprentices because I think it's a piss take if you don't pay them. Do you know what I mean? So, so we put Jodie through. She won an Apprentice of the Year award. Actually, she went to a big award and she actually won Apprentice of the Year.
When was that? Like, because how long is the apprenticeship in tattooing?
It's usually about 2 or 3 years.
Okay,
but
and you can actually go to college for that, can you?
No.
Right, okay,
no,
so
you can't go to college
within your organisation.
Yeah, but Jodie went to college, but she went to college to do customer services, that sort of thing.
Oh, yep.
So that's what we put her through there. So she done that, become a tattoo artist, absolutely incredible. She is amazing. Louis, he has just come out of his apprenticeship. He come into the shop just to ask me how to present his portfolio to a studio because he wanted an apprenticeship. So I sort of like looked at his work and it was real quality. But he does all the old schools, you know, like the Sailor Jerry stuff, like the big thick lines and like the anchors and all that sort of stuff. Showed me his portfolio. Faye was out up in
When
town.
you say a portfolio, what do you mean? He's obviously...
So it's basically like a book with like all their pictures in it.
Pictures,
Drawn. You know
hand drawn
yeah.
with pencil.
Because that's what will get you a job in a tattoo studio. Do you know what I mean? It's the way you present your portfolio. So that, and he come in, he was walking up and down. I noticed him walking up and down the shop, and I was like up and down outside. And all of a sudden, he just come in, and he was like, "Oh, do you mind if I have a quick chat with you just to see how to present my portfolio?" I looked at it. I thought, yeah, this kid's got something. Do you know what I mean? He could be good.
You can tell he is.
Yeah.
I can see where you saw that in him. Bless him.
Yeah, but then obviously Faye come in, and she sat down, and I introduced them, and they was talking. So he left the shop, and she went, "I like him. He'll do well." And I went, "Well, how can you tell?" She went, "He smells good." Yep. So I sort of like, "Well, what do you mean he fucking smells good? What are you talking about?" Do you know what I mean? She went, "No, he looks after himself. The way he presented himself."
Right. Okay. It's
Do
figure
you
of
know
speech.
what I mean?
Type thing.
Yeah. So tattoo studios, people think they're full of, like, they were dark, dingy, horrible, shitty places. Do you know what I mean? What's our place like?
No, mate. It's I like to think your tattoo studio's like my garage, mate. In the garage industry, yours is the one in the tattoo. But I'm gonna
say you like your garage at home.
Yeah, but that's
So
what
I've
I
been in
thought. So hang on.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nice and tidy, mate. It's neat. It's
But the thing is, I
go
mean,
above the rest of them. Doesn't
yeah.
it? I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that at all. But yeah, mate.
But
that's I mean, that's not the reason you're here. You're here because you've got a story. You're here because you're you know, good friend of mine.
Well, top friend of yours.
Yeah. You are, yeah, you are a very close mate of mine. You know that, and you know you've done a lot of emotional pieces of art on me, haven't you?
Yes.
And we better shout out Laura as well.
Yeah, definitely, Laura.
A lot of emotional pieces.
Yeah, Laura's the one that's been with me the longest.
So here's a little bit of an info for you, Matt. So one time during the time I was being diagnosed with the big C,
that's how we found out.
Steve was tattooing me, and he just kept stopping and looking at me and going, "Why are you flinching so much? Why, you know, you're not reacting the same."
You could sit. Now I've tattooed him time and time again, and you'd sat for 7, 8,
yeah, mate, not even
perhaps
flinched.
9 hours,
Yeah.
and we was just sitting there talking like we are now, and everything was fine. But it was that time when it.
And literally, he'd do that with a gun, and I'd be like that, and it's because the tumour was sucking all of my, you know.
Oh wow, it's mad.
It's mad. Yeah, it's mad.
And
scary as well.
Yeah, I mean, and it was because I was like, mate, something's up here.
Do you what to explain that? It's like your energy and your aura was out.
Yeah, it's like your body is using so much energy to kind of fight that that it can't fight anything else.
It made you jumpy.
Yeah, and it hurt so much. You know, like tattoos aren't nice anyway, but
they suck.
They suck. But this, it was I physically couldn't bear it.
What happened? Did you sit it out?
Yeah, I had to stop.
In the end, I think I've done about 4 hours, didn't I?
To be honest with you, I think one of them only lasted about 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the first ones. You got there.
It's a bit of a blur.
You got there, and it was because that's when I was like, nah, something's not right here. Do you know what I mean? And I said to you, well, are you sure you're right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like a bit of a it was a bit of an intuition thing.
So you said earlier about obviously tattoos and then having a bit of a, what's the word, like people having a bit of opinion of someone that's got tattoos, don't they?
Oh mate, you wouldn't believe.
It's an interesting topic though.
It is.
Because look, when I was a young, you two are going to resonate with this. You know what I'm talking about. When I was young, my dad said to me, he used to like, you know, like parents train their kids. Because what he used to like do in the shop in front of people. Matt would bring me out and be like, Matt, what the 5 things you're never going to have? And I'd be like, a motorbike, Dad. And he'd be like, yes. Smoke, Dad. And he'd be like, yes. Do drugs, Dad. Yes. Get tattoos. Yes. Get your ear pierced. Yes. He goes, that's my boy. So obviously I might have broken a few of them. Dad, I can say that because Dad isn't watching. Because if he was, he knows I haven't had a motorbike. So anyway, and he knows I haven't got my ear pierced.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no. But in his generation, I think that's what I'm getting to. In his generation, it was very not frowned upon, but certain type of person had them. Whether it was gang,
it was frowned upon.
Where it was gang orientated, or what crew, the mods and the rockers, or whatever. And I think it went through another phase, and I think it's come now to it's actually been completely acceptable.
Used to be unique if you had one.
Yeah.
Now you're unique if you ain't got one.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
I'd actually give you that. That's true.
I haven't had one.
You've not got one tattoo on it?
Nope.
Would you?
No, I don't feel I need to.
Pretty enough, wouldn't you?
I don't know about that. No, you're piss taking cunt.
You fucking say it all, don't you? You don't get it written on it.
No, I just don't. I've thought about it a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like wearing the same T-shirt for the rest of your life. That's what it is, and you've got to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was a mate of mine who actually said that to me, because I said to him...
That's actually a massive lie. Because you've tattooed me and erased them, or what do you call laser them?
Laser,
redone
mate,
them.
that sucks.
Fucking, let's not talk about that.
Mate. We do that at the shop as well.
Hey, hang on. So what have you had lasered off? X's names?
No, I had a tribal pattern, didn't I?
Yeah.
So,
Oi, steady. Fucking hell.
I nearly got over.
That's it back.
Yeah. That was quite. Can we fix this? Get this chair in the fucking garage, bruv.
It's meant to be
the axle's gone. The axle's gone. It needs some brakes on it, bruv.
Fucking hell.
That's nearly fucking buckarooed me. That nearly buckarooed me out the fucking chair.
He's fucking all over that, mate. He's loving life right now.
Fuck me, I
We're
life
replay
flash in
that,
front of my fucking eyes.
Just lean back, just chill out. Look,
Go on, see how far it goes.
I've got
Just
it.
go. Go on, keep going.
Yeah.
Look, watch
I'm going
my
in.
plate on the floor. Watch my plate on the floor. Look. See, you're fine.
Right, your plate lifted up and your
No,
what's she weigh?
No, it didn't lift up.
It fucking did lift up, man.
Fucking didn't. Anyway, where were we? Before Matt
can't
fell
remember.
over.
I don't know where we were.
Yeah.
I hope you got his face, Callum.
Fucking hell, shit myself. So what? I think in this day and age, and this is what I think. One more point, original point. It's beautiful that I can sit in now. Not that I would ever judge anyone, but I think society now judges people on who they stand in front of them as they are, not what they choose to wear, their haircut, their sexuality, or their choice in tattoos and how they choose to present themselves. I don't think that was the case in yesteryear. Like you couldn't get in the certain jobs if you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
hands,
a fact.
tattoos.
You couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's
Well, no,
bullshit.
but I mean, I believe it. I applied to join the police force, and
Yeah.
I had 2 tiny little tattoos on
They
my
told you
wrist.
to fuck
now
off.
that
One
is-
there.
that
They told you
is-
to fuck off, didn't they?
Eh?
They
Yeah,
told
they
you.
did.
If how the fuck can that dictate your ability
No, you're right.
to do a good job?
But this
It's-
is where I'm
Yeah, but
getting
that's,
at
that's,
on
that's
this one.
today's time talking,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm getting at on that one,
Yeah,
that was 2 tiny little tattoos on my wrist, on the top of my wrist there. I went asked if I could do it, and they was like, "Have you got any visible tattoos?" So I was like, "Yeah, I've got them too." And
Fuck
they was
the
like,
police,
"No, sorry." But now, 2 of the geezers I tattooed, both coppers,
yeah,
and they're
good lads.
They're actively encouraged to have
What,
tattoos.
that's what I'm talking about. It's changing
because
times.
it humanises them, because it gives them something. It gives them that it's not they're the police and they're not. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm actually tattooing one of the guy's hands on the back of his hand.
Yeah, quality.
I didn't ever think that would be the case
Yeah.
when it come to like the police, and it just goes to show how far it's come. I mean, how old's your dad, if you don't mind me asking?
60, 75.
Yeah, my mum's exactly the same age.
Yeah.
She hates tattoos.
Yeah, mate. Honestly,
she
it's
does.
always-
Every single time I
She
get a
walk,
tattoo,
he'll be tattooing me, and she'll
Yeah.
walk in. She'll go, "Hello, you."
do you
And she
know?
walks in, she goes, "What are you fucking having that done for?"
Yeah.
And she said,
And I'm
she
like,
walked
"Mum."
into her son's business and said, "Do you know what I mean?"
What are you doing?
Do you know
This
what other
man's putting
thing?
food on my plate.
Do you know? I've got a couple of questions for you. Like, you know, like so my dad's opinion on it. We'll say like, all right. So the early day tattoos were probably horrendous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Like you say that the scratching one jobs. Yeah.
yeah.
So his opinion on that, even though it's been brought forward in the standard of artwork, and you guys are actual talents, not just someone who wants to tattoo people. So, like his opinion on that, do you think that's got sort of something to do with it? The standard has gone, like the artistic flair.
Yeah, but when you think back in the day, the guys that were doing it back in the day, they were seen as we are now. They were seen as artists back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Because
the technology and the machinery.
Exactly. The industry has come on so much. It's like the whole tattoo thing. I mean, the machines we use now are cordless machines. They're all run by batteries.
Cordless.
So, yeah, it's just like you pick it up and you...
Well, there's no lead on
No,
it.
there's no lead.
Yeah, it gets caught up around the cories if you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Especially when you bend it in
It
half.
allows you to go. Basically, what he's trying to say
Fucking
is
caught it in the crease.
it allows you to go beyond enemy lines with no risk of tangulation.
Yeah, all right, gotcha.
No, but that's it. I mean, Laura,
Is that
who-
word?
who you said earlier, she uses one.
What a cable
Cordless machine. Do you know what I mean? Jodie, she's thinking about getting one as well. And Neil, my right hand man, you know,
Big Neil,
Big
shout
Neil,
out.
yeah, he uses one.
Oh, did really? Fucking hell.
But yeah, I mean, all the artwork that he does, it's mad what you can do now. You know what I mean? Who haven't I given a mention to? Chris.
Yep.
Fantastic Japanese artist. He's not Japanese, but he does Japanese artwork. So he does, like you saying, all the koi stuff and all that, like the dragons and. But they all can do what is asked of them.
I love artwork. I think art's amazing. My auntie in Australia has used to have a really big commercial art gallery. I used to walk around looking at different styles of the paintings. It's amazing how someone can express themselves in so many different ways. You know, like you've got the different, you know.
But the thing is as
Am
well,
I right?
mean,
Just butting in. Am I right? Did I completely make this up, or was you something to do with pink
I used to work for her husband.
for her husband? That's it.
Yeah, Kerry Hart.
So you went over to America to do some work with them?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, went to
Talk
Canada.
to us about it.
Always followed there was a TV program called Inked. Now that was before Miami Ink, and it was before it became real popular. Do you know what I mean? And they were following Kerry Hart, Pink's husband. He was the first person to have a tattoo studio in a casino in Vegas.
Okay.
So they followed him.
I'd just say that would be a recipe for disaster if people that are drunk. The amount of tattoos.
Oh yeah, mate, you wouldn't believe it.
They'd probably have a fucking number on their Corey, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean?
But the good
The
thing
amount of
about
Corey
it
tattoos getting out of there.
is they refuse it.
Do they?
You know
Do
what I
they?
mean? And they're like,
Really?
if you're that pissed or you're high or whatever, they're like, you have to sign waivers.
We call
and
that
all
wet
sort
on
of
here, by the
stuff.
way, Steve. Yeah. If you go in wet, you need to go and dry yourself off before you even think about it.
Here we are again.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been following the TV show and everything else. Noticed online that they was opening a studio in Niagara Falls.
Yep.
Sent my portfolio off. Really didn't think I'd hear anything back. Got a call back. You're on the shortlist. So I was like, well, that's fucking awesome, because I ain't about a fat lad from Cheshunt. Do you know what I mean? Like, getting a reply from him. Couple of weeks later, get an email saying, yeah, you're in.
Fucking hell. What, and then you had to go over to Canada?
Yeah. So he was, like, Kerry was holding interviews with the guy that he was opening the
That's
studio
mad,
with.
isn't it?
So I contacted him. I said, do you need me to come over for an interview? And he said no. So up sticks and went over there.
That's cool, mate.
Yeah, up sticks.
When
and
was
went.
that then?
2010.
Oh, well, not
Yeah.
too long ago then.
Yeah,
So you must have
2010.
probably a stupid question. Did you meet Pink?
2 weeks I missed her by.
Oh, you'd never met her?
No, I didn't meet her. Went over there. Obviously, the whole family went over. Didn't work out. So we had to come back.
What happened?
Just wasn't for everybody.
Keep going.
I can't.
Why?
You go as far as you want to, Steve.
We've got to poke him and prod him into giving us some information.
Come on, what? Why'd you leave?
It just, like I say, it was okay for me, and I was ready to give it
What,
a go.
the pressures of going to a new country or the family?
I'm going
was
to
the
ask you a
yeah,
sensitive question. I'm going to try and help you along a
the-
little bit. Was he a twat?
No,
All right.
he was awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
Canada
Aaron,
was
it was,
awesome.
It was nice.
You just asked me to prod him.
Okay.
No, he was amazing. Went out for a drink with him and everything. Really nice guy. And what was really surreal was when I was sitting there with him, his phone went, and he went, "Oh, it's the wife." And he's there, sitting there talking to her.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's a legend to be fair.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is
she's
amazing.
yeah.
Great woman.
But yeah,
I don't
was,
actually know who the husband is. I've never sort of seen anything about him.
He was
or
the first man ever to do a backflip on a motocross bike.
Oh, really?
What's
Yeah.
his name again?
Kerry Hart.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, he owns Hart and Huntington Tattoo Studios. They are everywhere now.
All right.
Yeah,
Motocrosser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Travis, if you know, I met
Yeah.
Travis Pastrana at Goodwood.
Did you?
Yeah, fucking what about this? I was a massive X Games fan.
He is
Do you like
mad as a box of frogs, that geezer.
Yeah, you like X Games and all that sort of stuff, yeah? Well, going through Goodwood, when I saw you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that geezer I told you about, walking through, and you're like, that's Travis Pastrana.
I don't even know.
Like,
who that is.
no one
I've
even
never
knew who he
heard of
was.
Yeah.
He just, like everyone was fucking up, oblivious, up their own ass. I was like, mate, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, of course. And I had a picture of him. He's the
Yeah.
nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
Big fella as well.
Yeah.
Big guy.
him. And what's he famous for?
He's
Everything.
he's everything.
Nitro
mate.
Circus,
Yeah.
the lot.
Oh, really?
He does all, the Gymkhana and all that.
No.
He was a young lad and did the first ever double backflip. They said it could never be done on a motocross bike, and I think he ended up doing a treble. But then he broke his body up so bad. I don't think he does it anymore.
He's got, he's got a place in the States called Pastrana Land.
Yeah.
Okay.
You literally go there and it's fucking ramps and airbags and
Really?
people flying through the air and backflips and front
Did some.
flips.
They did after his bad crashes and stuff. He then went to. He's a big petrol head, like nutter. Does some crazy stuff. Did some rally driving, and I think he's now a race car driver.
But he raced against Colin McRae.
Yeah, and Colin McRae gave him a section of his car, didn't he? He's got it in his thing before he passed away.
Really?
Mad, yeah. He's a real cool guy. Google him, mate. If anyone's, he's a real serious bit of work.
He can literally, anything with a motor,
He's a nutter.
he's awesome with it.
Yeah, that's
He
cool.
can, like I say, backflip
Is he
it.
an old boy now, is he?
Well, I wouldn't say how
You know
old,
what,
I
he's
mean,
probably
about my
about-
age, if not younger.
Yeah,
So no, he ain't old.
but he started when he was
Getting
real young.
close, though, isn't he?
Cheeky fucker.
Yeah, good guy, man. I when I bumped in, I was like, "Fuck, that's wicked." I used to sit up all night watching X Games. Remember when it wasn't TV like you all young pricks out there won't understand what we're talking about. You literally had a couple of channels, didn't you? And then when Sky first come on, he'd have the really boring stuff. Then it'd be on Eurosport X Games.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yes, watch skateboarding. Like, remember Tony Hawk on the
I remember that. Yeah.
not the game, like him actually doing the 1080.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's fucking cool.
Did the first ever 900 or something, or whatever it was.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's fucking hell.
Yeah, those are the
Name I
days.
haven't heard from for a little while.
Yeah.
Still about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's doing shit telly now, I don't know.
Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah. So anyway, who else you need to give a shout out to? Anyone?
Leah,
Leah.
the PSR, who sticks holes in people.
We didn't.
She has been my, she was my rock. Yeah, when I was
I think I have met her, haven't I?
yeah, you know, she obviously at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she, before I met Faye, she really looked after me. Obviously, I went through some shit when I split up with my ex-wife and all that sort of stuff, and that was a real horrible time. She stuck by me and she really helped me out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she's the piercer at the shop. What she don't know about piercing,
She sticks holes in people.
yeah, she does stick holes in people. Well, she stuck plenty of holes in me, but she's real good at what she does, especially with the piercing and that. So
Yeah, quality.
yeah, so that's pretty much everybody at the shop.
We,
Tom,
yeah.
Tom, the new apprentice.
Yeah.
No, I've got 2 new apprentices. Fucking hell. God, I'd have been strung up there. Yeah, Tom, he's the new apprentice. Met him. He's actually a drummer in my favourite band.
Is he?
Yeah. Took me the band took me on tour to tattoo him, and we were sitting in Paris on the tour bus. And I was tattooing a guitarist. Tom come down from upstairs, and he sort of like sat next to me. He was like, "Oh, I'd love to know how to tattoo." And we hear that all the time. Do you know what I mean? So it's, you know when Simon Cowell sees Susan Boyle for the first time, he rolled his eyes, didn't he?
Yeah.
The minute she opened her mouth, you could see the fucking pound signs in his eyes. He was like, shit, this something special. It's the same sort of thing with Tom. He is the nicest. I don't know, just something about him. Yeah, he's the most humble person.
What is his band? For anyone listening?
Death of Anna. Local band, done good.
They've done well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have done well.
Very well.
Yeah, I think they've got a new album coming out next year, actually.
Have you heard of them, Matt? It's not your sort of music, though.
Yeah,
What are you trying to say?
Saying you like classical.
I like country and
There's nothing wrong
western.
with
Country and western.
Yeah, and a bit of classical. There's nothing wrong with
Classic.
that. Brain music, mate.
Yeah, so Tom's going through his apprenticeship at the moment. So
he's got a talent as well, though. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so get back to, I was tattooing the guitarist, Eiffel Tower in the background and all that sort of stuff, and I'm thinking, I've fucking done all right, yeah, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? So he's come down, said that he wants to tattoo, so I said, well, have you got any drawings? And he literally went upstairs, come back down with his drawings, and I looked at him and I was like, fucking hell, this boy has got a talent, do you know? So I just said to it, and they did a show in Paris. By the time we got back onto the bus, so driving from Paris to Calais, because we was doing Reading and Leeds, like the festival, we got a little bit pickled on the bus.
Wet.
I
Did
said
the
to
bus
him,
not
if
have did it not have a roof? Like you just,
Do you know what? All these people we meet that go and get wet. Why don't you just take a towel?
I just want to know the sort of people we're hanging around with as well. Do you know what I'm saying? To be fair, I was getting wet last week, and they're getting wet this week, so it's not all on me. Anyway, sorry. We've got some reprobates in our friendship group, haven't we?
Yeah, mate.
yeah, so I said to him, if you ever want to learn how to tattoo, teach me how to play the drums and I'll teach you how to tattoo. I still can't play the fucking drums, but he can tattoo. So there's something going wrong there, isn't there?
So obviously, it's not. Is he not full time with the band? Is that like a thing that happens when you're touring, or?
He was, for obviously COVID completely fucked their industry.
I had a chat with him, and I think
Completely.
he wanted a bit of a change as well, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got a young family.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got 2 young
Stability.
kids. Yeah. He's got a beautiful wife, Chaz. She's amazing. Literally about to have their 3rd baby in about 2
wow.
weeks. So he just wanted. He said it sounds quite pretentious, but he said, I know it sounds, but I'm fed up with touring the world. Do you know what I mean?
I imagine it'll take its toll on people.
Oh, mate. I mean, you think you're in a... I mean, I've done plenty of tours with plenty of bands, and you're in a bus with 16 other people. Do you know what I mean? and you're there with them for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, there's gonna get a time when you think, fucking stick one on you right now.
It sounds a pretty obvious thing to say as well, but something about having a trade.
So what?
Something about having a different trade, not in
100%.
your in anything. Having a little skill set up your sleeve, take you anywhere in the world, can't it? You know
You mean you've done well? So this is your second involvement with you had the Royston tattooist, didn't you?
What, the Royston shop?
The Royston shop, yeah.
That's where I started.
And then you moved over, and then Ely was your second, wasn't it?
No, Little Port was my second.
Little Port.
Yeah. And then obviously from Little Port, went to open up in Ely, but Ely Council, obviously they thought, no, we ain't having a tattoo studio here. And it took me 3 years to be able to convince somebody to rent a shop off them. Because every time I saw a shop and every time I went to see or phoned up to go and view a shop, they were saying, is that Steve? And I'm like, yeah, because obviously they get to know your voice and all that sort of stuff. Excuse me. And we've been told by the landlords not to let you in the shop. They don't want a tattoo studio in their shop.
I heard about this. I think you told me. Wasn't it the local council or the local committee?
What's wrong with having a tattoo studio?
The local committee said they don't want a tattoo shop in the high street.
Because it's Ely. Because it's a cathedral city. They didn't want... And again, it goes back to that, what people think tattoos are like and what tattoo studios are like and what tattooed people are like. Do you know what I mean? You've got this misconception that we sacrifice goats on a Friday. Do you know what I mean? And
because you tattoo.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's that whole...
You haven't done that for a few months now, have you?
I was going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sheep now, isn't it?
Yeah. You use mayors and town councillors.
No, but the ironic thing about it is this shop become available, and
now this is not the shop you're in now.
No, but this is how we got into the shop we're in now. Right now, obviously, I approached the lady whose shop it was, Elaine. I told her what I wanted to do, and she said, that's absolutely fine. As long as you pay your rent every month, I don't care what you put in there. Right? And she was sound as a pound. So, we was in there. Like I say, I went for a divorce. That was a bit shit, not going to lie. Faye come along, and basically, it turned it into what it is now. Elaine actually become Ely Mayor. She was the mayor of Ely.
Elaine being the landlord of the shop.
Which is actually Faye's auntie. So she become the mayor of the shop.
So she told the local committee to...
Well, basically, when we went for a swearing-in ceremony, you know, where all the hats and gowns and all that sort of stuff.
Hang on, why did you have to do that to be of a shop in Ely?
No. Because I was with Elaine's niece, obviously we went to her swearing-in ceremony. Right, okay. as family.
Thought you said you had to be sworn in to have a shop there. Jesus Christ.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, you know what I mean? But
I'd never even heard of a swearing-in ceremony.
Yeah, so it's when they present her as the new mayor and all that sort of stuff, do you know what I mean? So
it's like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is either.
Stand up and I swear to do my best. And
you have to stand up and suck off a priest.
That's it.
That's what they're doing, isn't it? I was reading a story about that, about the Vatican today, never mind.
But yeah, so everybody that was there coming up, oh, how's the tattoo studio going? Oh, yeah, it's going really well, blah, blah, blah. Were all the people that were opposing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So what goes around comes around.
It probably, if they had someone in the group that was anti it, though, that one bad apple can turn a bunch bad pretty quick, can't they? So
100%.
If in a meeting that you're not there, they're just going to highlight all the bad stuff about having one and not present one positive aspect of it. And you can imagine they're all...
Well, that's it. I mean, everybody knows...
when they meet you and get to know you, I'm sure they're in a different story.
Yeah. But that's what I like. And obviously with the whole tattoo... I was standing outside the shop one day, and I'll tell you, one of the stories that... It's one of the times that really sticks in my head was Remembrance Sunday. And this guy had asked me to tattoo him, to start the tattoo at 11 o'clock.
AM?
Yeah, because you know when the minute silence starts?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wanted to do the minute silence. As soon as that was over, he wanted to start the tattoo because he wanted to remember his brother who had been killed in action.
That's fucking cool.
Must have been about 10 to 11. I'm standing outside the shop having a smoke, and I'm just waiting. 2 old girls come walking up the hill, followed by 2, obviously their husbands. As they've got to the shop, one of the husbands has said to his wife, "Oh, shall I go and get a tattoo?" And she went, "Don't you dare, they're disgusting, they're this," and fucking went off alarmingly. Right?
Probably because you were there, or
Yeah, and I'm standing there. So I'm just like looking at her, and she was going, I said, "They're disgusting. If you were supposed to have them, you'd have been born with them," and blah, 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 and all that
Fuck
sort of
off.
stuff. So I just went, "Can I stop you there?" And I was as nice as pie, right? And she went, "What? And he's standing behind, and I'm thinking, well, I've got to be a little bit careful here. I said, "Do you want to come in and meet the person that I'm just about to tattoo?" And she went, "Why would I want to do that?" I said, "Because he's remembering his brother. Like you're going to go and remember them people that have fallen. You're going up to do it up there. He's doing it a different way."
Bang on, nail on the head, mate.
She walked off. The old man walked past me, winked and went, "Well done, son." And just walked off. Do you know what I mean? But I've been called, a devil worshipper. I've had people coming in telling me that I'm, all sorts, mate.
To be fair, I've called you worse, though.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty corny.
that's pretty heavy, man.
It is heavy.
It is
It
heavy, but this is what people think we're like. And that's why we've done the
You
studio
say we're
like
like some kind of cult or something. It's not. It's just
No, but that people think that they look at me. I mean, I've got tattoos on the side of my head, on my face, and all that. Do you know what I mean? But I'm still me. It don't make me a different person. If you actually sit down and bother to get to know me, then
Well, I'm not being funny. You walk into a petrol station with a motorbike helmet on. They think you're gonna fucking rob it. Actually, you just walked in with your helmet on and forgot to take it off.
I've had people
It's
cross
the
the
same
street
thing, innit?
before.
so you have a motorcycle as well, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was one of my Harley brothers, isn't it?
yeah.
Harley.
Have you got a Harley?
I have, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
It's down there. I'm going to airbrush it.
You
Oh,
are
yeah.
going to airbrush it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going to put mine on his faces on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to paint up some of the charity work that I've done on it, and some of the little kiddies I've helped, but make it, it quite quirky, and then put our mugs on it as well, because he's a dab hand with an airbrush, ain't you?
I do try.
Oy, oy. So that's the negative side of it, but obviously, let's put a positive spin. Talk to us about some of the best tattoos you've done, like from an emotional point of view and
Emotional point of view,
from a
there's
skill set stuff.
obviously your man sitting there. What that man went through.
Also, what have you tattooed on?
Fucking hell, I can't remember now. There's so many, isn't there? Obviously,
He's done all my portraits, hasn't he?
So I
one
said to you, what the best one is. And what sort of, on out of all of his, what would it be?
his kids.
Yeah,
And I'll
nice.
tell you what, that reaction
Yeah.
that you
yeah,
posted.
Yeah.
with the first portrait I ever did on you.
So, you got your kids done at that sort of time. What was the thinking from you?
What do you mean?
So obviously people want to know why people get tattoos. So were you having them done for?
Because I take them everywhere with me, mate.
Is that the reason? Yeah.
Genuinely.
So they're always
Genuinely.
with you on. Yeah. So you can look at them and that's it.
Yeah. And mate, I'm not blowing smoke up his arse too much, but if someone takes a picture of me and it's got face recognition on it, they see 4 fucking faces. It literally picks all of my portraits up as eyes and face. They think it's real. Yeah, it's wicked, mate. But yeah, no, I take them with me, mate. Take them with me. It's nice to see some of the things. Even when I was in hospital, I'm getting a bit morbid here, but I'm laying there. My kids are there, aren't they? I mean,
That's why I asked you, by the way. I didn't. What was the?
I'm
what was
with
the-
you.
what
I'm with you. Obviously, the
You might
baby-
have said you might have said because they wanted me to or something like that. But I wanted to know what you.
not at all. Not
No,
at
they
all.
were done before you was diagnosed, though, weren't they?
Yeah. Which
Do
is
you know
why I
what I
said
mean?
I took them with me.
Yeah. So yeah, I did the first 2, and then obviously done loads more, and then Laura took over, didn't she, for a little while?
Yeah, she's done quite a lot.
Yeah, because I had to have surgery on my shoulder, and like it put me out for a while, but now he's back in my chair.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
You got loads, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm covered. Yeah. I've got a different
Shall
code
we,
on my Corey, don't I?
I'm just thinking if we could get enough. Look, Aaron does a lot of money raising for other people.
yeah,
Steve, I think we should do some money raising to get Aaron a tattoo on his Corey. In fact, here we go.
You can.
How much
you
would it
get someone
cost?
else to fucking do
Obviously,
it.
obviously, it would have to
Well, you won't bend
Won't
mine enough.
touch it.
What's the fucking difference?
be. I will pay for that. If we, how much does that cost? Obviously, it's only very little. You got, maybe one of your squiggles.
Well, how big's his dick? Because obviously
Go
it
on.
all depends on
What
how
are you
big the
asking him
tattoo
for?
is.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Well, you said your mates.
Yeah, but not like me and you.
Yeah, we got. So look, what we're saying, like sort of 50 quid, that'll do it, will it?
Fuck off.
Do it. You'd have to give him more than that to touch his dick.
Would you? What are we saying?
Mate, honestly, you were meant to be my
I'll
friend.
start a GoFundMe page here. Is that a deal?
No, it ain't a fucking deal.
Why?
Because it ain't.
Why?
I'll tell you what, you have 87 Podcast on your cock and I'll give you fucking $3,000. He's thinking
about it.
He's actually thinking about it.
How much?
You get 80 and I'll get the 7.
That'd be quite an intro to the tattoo world, wouldn't it? Anyway.
What is the weirdest tattoo you've ever tattooed? Like literally the most Is it the cock?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've tattooed every part
we're
of
just
the body.
talking about blokes. Do women get that
Yeah.
done?
What's that? Sorry, for people watching at home, you just did a, what is it? What?
Like the clitoris.
I know somebody that had the pearly gates tattoo. Just
Yeah,
above
that's
her
probably a
clit.
better way of putting it.
Obviously, the stairway to heaven or the gates to heaven and all that. So, but one of the best tattoos I did was on a woman called Jude. She come into the studio, and again, this is going back to obviously she had the same illness as you, Aaron.
What, same place?
No, she had found a lump in her breast.
Bless her.
Went to the hospital. They said, right, well, we've got to take it off. So they basically told her to eat as many cakes as she could to put on weight. Because what they did was obviously when they took the breast, they built her a new one straight away. So they basically did a tummy tuck, took that out, and built her a new breast. She come into the studio. She was a little bit hesitant to come in, but one of the reasons she come in because it looked so welcoming and it looked nice. She come in, never met her before. Obviously because of the surgery they had to remove the nipple. She won't mind me talking about it because it's on my social media pages, and I actually said on there, please don't take this post down, please don't report it, read the story, and then if you feel like you need to complain, get a fucking life, because this is real shit. Do you know what I mean? And she said to me, I just want something there that doesn't remind me of what I've gone through. So where the nipple should have been, I put like a real nice mandala, like lotus flower, covering it. The following day, I got a message, and she said, for the first time since my surgery, I woke up and smiled when I looked in the mirror. Now, to me, that is what tattooing is all about.
So before she had just had a scar.
Yeah. So it was basically like just
she would have looked in the mirror and seen what's not there, rather than.
And it's a reminder of what she's gone through.
But that was now a new thing, a new beginning, a lotus flower, new blossom.
That's it. So obviously she had that. She had that, and I got that message, and it really sort of like resonated, and it was like, that's why we do what we do. Do you know what I mean? A lot of tattoos now are memorial tattoos. I had to do one today. Young lady,
that's emotional stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean,
even for you.
I mean, I lost my dad. I was, what was I? 25 when my dad died, and he was 48 when he passed away. That guy was my rock. I mean, I love my mum to bits. My mum is my everything. Do you know what I mean? But losing your dad is just, it don't bear thinking about. And like I say, I was 25. He was only 48, 5 years younger than what I am now, which really fucks with my head at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because it's no age. I mean, I still feel 25 in me now, but my fucking body tells me otherwise every time I get up in the morning. You know, so, but yeah, it's... The memorial stuff is the ones that really get to you. Do you know what I mean? And they
because you know people are hurting, don't you?
Yeah, but the thing is with tattooing and everything else, people will sit there and they will open up to you, even though they don't know you. You know, and you'll get to know these people just from spending an hour with them.
It sounds like quite an intimate process.
Oh,
you know,
well, you think it is intimate because you're actually touching somebody that you've never met before. Now, I'm not, and I don't mean.
Someone.
Do you know what I mean?
Skin contact sort of thing.
Exactly. It's on their arm. So if I'm tattooing somebody's chest or their shoulder or whatever, I'm literally 6-8 inches away from them. Do you know what I mean? So you got to have some sort of rapport. You got to talk to somebody while you're doing it, and they do seem to open up, and
they're probably taking their mind off of the pain as well, aren't they?
100%. Do you know what I mean? But
I fucking do.
I've often sat there. I've been in tears. Do you know what I mean? The people have been in tears because I'll be talking about my dad. I'll get emotional. They're talking about their loved ones. They get emotional. Do you know what I mean? At the end of it, you're all covered in snot.
Listen, it's a bit like you said earlier. You said about that you're going in and you're having something on you that is going to be there for the rest of your life. So it's an emotional thing. So that's why they're feeling emotional. That's my opinion anyway. You know, some of the people that have tattoos have got that image. Oh yeah, you know, but it ain't like that, because half the time, if you actually look what they've got tattooed, it's probably R.I.P. Mum, or do you know what I mean? So it's actually a soft thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or some other emotional trauma.
Yeah, anything.
Something that they're trying to hide or cover up from this. And listen, you don't know what anyone's been through in this world.
No, you don't.
If you was to have something written on you, what would it be, Matt?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Like Free Nelson Mandela or something like that. Something on I don't know. I don't know, mate. I'd have done. I think if I'd had done something, it would have been something like Roman numerals, something more simple and clean, or something on the back of my arm. Or I don't know.
Do you know, it reminds me of the saying. The first thing I thought of when I asked him that, you know, the saying.
I'm looking for a reason to get one.
Someone wears their heart on their sleeve. So I wear my heart on my sleeve. You wear your heart in here.
Yeah.
Which is what? Do you know what I mean? Don't shake your head. You know I'm right.
No. I mean, like, I think you're right. I don't really understand don't really know the truth. Yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah. But let's just go back to a point. Like, it's just this thing in life, right? You don't know what anyone's been through. Like, people are so quick to judge people.
100%.
And like, there's the old saying that unless you walk a mile in someone's shoes, you can't comment. Like, the school bully, for example, was probably getting slapped about by his mum and dad at home. Hence why he was the bully. Like, you don't understand. Like do you know what I mean? It's the.
Yeah, and touching on something that you said on your first podcast about bullying and everything else, I was bullied relentlessly at school. And the nicest feeling in the world is when that bastard comes into your shop and says, "Oh, mate, can I get a tattoo?" Sit yourself down, son.
Dig fucking deep, bruh.
Seriously, if archaeologists pick that cunt up in fucking 20,000 years' time, they're going to be, how the fuck they tattoo the bones? Mate, I'll let him have it.
Did you?
Oh, mate. I was relentlessly bullied. And I wanted to bring that up because of what you said on your first podcast. Do you know what I mean? And if I could go back to my 13-year-old self, I'd stick my arm around my shoulder and I'd say, son, it's all going to be all right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is.
I feel you on that.
Does.
I feel you 100%.
It does. And it's horrible.
It makes me sad to think of kids out there. Yeah, that fucks me up, that does. It genuinely does. If I could fucking have a day job of going around schools weighing them in,
because that's weighing in the other kids.
Fucking would.
You
string them up by the Achilles.
What do you do for a job of weighing children?
I don't think people have such a bad impact on them, doesn't it? Like, you know, we used to take pleasure in stopping it happening. I've always been very protective of my friends. I hate when people bullying people, even on a night out. When you get older, there was that guy that will flex on someone, or stop pushing.
You
the
are
weight
quite
around.
protective in that area, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. People are so brittle at that age, aren't they? That all you really want is a friendship group that you can trust and to just grow into yourself, not getting picked on, because a lot of the other kids ain't strong enough to stand up for them, because that will actually put them in the firing line of the other bullies or whatever. So
we should probably put that in there. I know it might sound a little bit soppy, but perhaps all three of us should sit here and say that if anyone was to listen to this and they wanted to get in touch with you, me,
100%,
Matt, it'd never get talked about. We'd talk, wouldn't he? Yeah. Absolutely. Like, even if they asked one of us not to tell the other one, we wouldn't do it.
With me, it got to the point where I just couldn't face going to school. And I'd
that
find an excuse.
Sounds pretty. Like,
how did you get through it, though? How did you do it? How did you go to school?
In the end, it got to a point when my dad said to me, he knew something was up. Do you know what I mean? And he sat me down and he was like, right, what the fuck's going on? So, and I blurted it all out.
What if you don't want to go back there, Steve, but what was it? What sort of stuff were they doing?
Oh, it was just brutal. It was just
like beatings?
No, it weren't beatings. It was just intimidation.
Picking
on you.
Know
what I mean? And it never ever got physical. Well, it did get physical in the end, but that was because of me. But
did you weigh him in?
Oh, fucking 100%. That cunt was bleeding for days.
Good lad.
Yeah, no, but it was my dad that done it, and it was my dad.
Gave you a bit of a.
It gave me the confidence to do it, because the thing was, right, I used to do canoeing when I was younger, right? So I used to canoe I was national champion. I used to go abroad and do it and everything else. But because the school I used to go to, they used to love sporty people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So they was like, every time, because my sister used to canoe for Great Britain, and she went to the Junior World Championships
That's
and everything
amazing.
else. So, and because we were good at it, it was their vessel to have a pop, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Because we was always pulled up in assembly. Oh, well done, Steve. Well done, Helen. You know, so
These miserable fuckers ain't done nothing with that.
exactly.
That ate it.
And they resented that. So we used to get it. Not so much about my sister, but especially with me, it was more of it was an intimidation thing. It never ever got physical, but you was always looking over your shoulder. You was always thinking, oh fucking hell, where are they and all that
but
sort of stuff.
You're kids, you don't really know, do you? That's why you.
That's it. You don't. Yeah. No.
But
That's
then
it.
just want
You
to be
look
in a
back on
safe.
it now.
Yeah.
That's it. But then obviously, like I say, it got to the point where I don't want to go to school. I'm ill. I'm this. I'm that, and everything else. And my dad sort of said, and he was like, right, what the fuck's going on? And he got me wound up, and I was like, Dad, and he was like, right, if you can be like that with me,
Be
do
like
it to
that,
them.
yeah.
And he said, and I said, yeah, but what? I'll get in trouble. And he went, I'll back you, son.
Do you know what,
I
Steve?
did.
I
I'd
had
say
my
that.
son come home a few. Well, it was last week, and he'd had a bit of jip at school.
Because he's just started secondary school,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
yeah.
If you don't stop it, then it fucking escalate, can't it?
Well, this is the thing, and I went in all guns blazing. You know what? Fucking what? You know, fucking. And then when I walked away and had 5 minutes to think about it, I thought, all it takes is for one of them to pull a knife out. And then
Yeah, but that's
my
the
boy.
difference now.
Do you know
boy.
that? Is that the first thing you thought about?
Not the first. The first thing I thought about was going in there and fucking them up. And we're literally walking in there on their lunch break and just.
Yeah, but what you gotta
But then
think-
that probably wouldn't do him any good.
probably
No,
make it
but
worse.
that's what I'm saying.
But what you got to think about that is what the repercussions of what you do, what effect that's going to have on
That's
him.
what I'm saying, mate.
Because
That's what
you're
I'm saying.
not going to be there all the time.
You got to let him.
I know, mate,
do
I
it.
know, and that's the first thing I thought. But then I just thought, you know, and then I wanted to protect him, and in the end, I actually found myself saying, "You need to go and tell your teacher." Well, I never thought I'd fucking say that.
No, because
That's probably good advice because you can at least that way you're letting them to try and go through the official path before you send him to school with a bat in his rucksack and nail bombs and petrol bombs.
I'd send him to you. You can send him a cricket bat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah.
But that's a sign of the times, isn't it? Back in the day, you went to the teacher and you told them what was going on, or the parents went there.
I think more so now. I think
They'd
more so
fucking
now
give
it's
them a
the
clip
right
round
thing
the
to
ear
do.
roll. Yeah, but now they've got to go through different channels. They've got to say, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do it that way. No, what you got to fucking do is stop it. Because what that's doing to that kid mentally,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's destroying them.
Yeah, it's
Right
not
now,
on, is it?
that happened from me from year one. It was the first
Year
year. 'Cause
7.
now basically,
The first year of secondary
That's
school.
it. I'm old school, so
Yeah, I know. What
yeah.
you mean.
So the first year,
You did like P levels and stuff.
that's it. Yeah, didn't even have GCSEs, just had CSEs. Didn't have the G
There we
in front
go.
of
There
it.
we go.
When I was a boy,
When I was a boy.
Do your exams on a piece of slate.
during the war.
I was just going to say that.
Carry
During
it.
the war.
During the
Carrier
war.
pigeon.
Yeah, but it was
During the
up
war.
until the 4th year, and that was when my dad said to me, "Right, I'll back you 100%. Go in there and weigh that cunt in tomorrow." And I literally,
Good advice.
this kid. I'll tell you what it was. There was 2 other kids having a tear up. My fucking school was and ran out for it. There was a tear up every single day. So these 2 kids are having a tear up, and I'm sort of like standing there watching. And this geezer that was bullying me was over like the other side, and I could see him looking at me. I thought, right, it's fucking now or never. So I just went over there and stuck one on him, and didn't stop. And it was the teacher that pulled me off. Yeah, Mr. Dyson, his name was. I'll never forget.
He's done all right for himself actually now after school, hasn't he?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Fair play to him.
he's hoovered
Yeah.
up.
He's
yeah,
hoovered
but-
up. Yeah.
To be fair, I think they've gone downhill a little bit.
What, Dyson's?
Yeah, I think Sharks took over.
Oh, Shark's definitely.
Never.
So we got a Shark.
I mean, well, listen, so I hear. I've not got one, I've got a Dyson, but everyone's fucking
talking
raving
shit.
about
Oh,
Shark.
mate, Shark.
What do you mean I'm
Talking
talking shit?
Talking
What do you
Dyson-
use?
Dyson's the bollocks.
Nah, you got a Shark.
Of course not. I've got a Dyson.
Get a
So
Shark.
you two might as well have Samsung phones.
Wait, I got an
No,
iPhone, mate.
steady.
Oh, have you? You got iPhone? Yeah. Look, listen, boys. This is not.
He's just bullying Callum now.
Look, we're doing quite a lot of brand stuff here.
Yeah,
Shark,
They're not paying us, are they?
bruv. Was it?
Henry, to
The
be fair,
Shark.
mate, my Henry's pretty good.
Sucks a lot of good. Un.
Yeah. He doesn't use it for that.
Henrietta's
though.
pretty good.
Yeah.
He's Henrietta, isn't it? The female
Yeah,
version. We've
he
got to
is,
be
yeah.
gender neutral here, haven't we?
Yeah. Apparently.
So yeah, that's you got your own back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's a good thing in life, just to.
And it stopped from that day.
Yeah.
But do you know
Stopped
what?
from that day.
If you fast forward that situation to now, one of them will stick a knife in you.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Back in the day, you used to have a tear up, knock 7 shades of shit out of each other, shake each other's hands, and on you
That's
go.
unbelievable, isn't it?
Now, if you do someone, they do you for retribution, and it goes like that.
Earlier on, you mentioned the bikey stuff. Now we'll find out you've both got bikes. Obviously, the bikey connection is rife with tattooing. Have you got any stories about that sort of thing?
I know that. I mean, I used to belong to a local club in Littleport, which is where I live now. Used to be part of that club. It wasn't for me, so I've come away from it. I'm still involved within the bike industry, if you like.
What,
Obviously
tattooing
what we
and
do,
your
the
friends
tattooing,
and
tattooing, airbrushing. Obviously, like my friends, a lot of my friends are in a bike club that go down and see them every Tuesday and Friday. Top boys and girls they are down there, Phoenix, MCC.
The first I ever heard of, not from a real sense, was in Australia. I don't even know this. I went to I went to Australia, but in Australia, the bikie gangs are big. There's a big news over there. Now there was a couple of real funny when I was there in Melbourne. There was a couple of really funny stories that made the news. You know, a couple of these YSL clubs, whatever they're called, working men's clubs, big in Australia. One of them got robbed. Have you ever seen the CCTV of it? A couple of young lads burst in the door and went to rob the cashier for the money on the thing, and they didn't know there was a 150 person bikie gang out the back. No, they weren't. They got their. They think they nearly killed them. And the person ran through the other side of the bar and called them through.
Yeah,
they got their heads chomped in.
Yeah.
Fucking mental. Yeah, Brits told me that it's because she lived out in Australia.
So in Australia,
it's
bikie
mad,
gang stuff is big.
Yeah, but now
they call them something else. It's bikies, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what
They're
they call them,
bikies.
yeah.
Yeah, the bikies. They're big. It's like the biggest organised crime gangs in Australia are the bikies. They're the most powerful gangs in Australia.
But the Australian government now, because we was out there a few years ago, well, a couple of years ago now, Faye and I did epic road trip, basically from the south of Australia all the way up to the north. But
What a place.
amazing. I never ever thought I'd like it, right? But it was everything I expected it to be. It was the wildlife and everything else. I mean, you'll see some fucking spiders out there, mate. They literally grin at you. Do you know what I mean? I had 5 years walking past, but yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful place. But what they do now, and even people with tattoos, you can't congregate any more than 2 or 3 people.
Really?
Because you're then classed as part of a bikie gang.
And just recap, where's that?
Australia.
All over, mate. All over.
Every part of Australia. Well, what they've done is they've outlawed the biker gangs.
They're massive over there, mate.
So
it's huge.
What you can't do is you can't ride any more than 2 people. So you will never ever see.
Apart from the bikie groups?
No, it's the bikie groups that can't ride.
Oh, really? They've actually got
they do, and they can't do nothing about it. Though. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah, they've outlawed it all.
So
they're the biggest. They control it. They're the biggest for things like murders, contract killings, prostitution, racketing, drugs, all that sort of stuff. They're the biggest crime organisation in Australia, the bikie gangs.
No. I did hear that about Australia, and it's pretty interesting. There's a few programs out there as well.
There is, yeah.
It's pretty scary. Scary shit.
Right, shall we talk about some interesting stuff that's happened this week? Do you like any sport other than canoeing?
Football. Tottenham through and through.
Hey, I went to the Arsenal game on Monday.
Right.
Yeah, they were rubbish.
Take you don't like football then, mate, no?
No, I fucking hate football. To be fair, I don't mind when England play. I like watching that, supporting, but...
Do you know what was nice for me? Going out with my pal, just watching some fucking live event. So I'm gonna keep it as broad as that.
It's a good vibe.
Just to, after 18 months, 2 years of shit in this country, nice just get out to a live sporting event, have a beer, watch something under the bright lights and enjoy myself. You know what I mean? It's really good. Really was good.
When was this?
On Monday night. So
2-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2-2 in Arsenal.
Got him right at the death, didn't they?
Yeah.
Who do you support, Steve?
Tottenham.
Who do you support, Matt?
I don't really. I'd rather not. My dad's a massive Man United fan, but I couldn't care less. Honestly, I was cheering for Arsenal at one point. I was well happy. No, I don't mind. I'm just,
Yeah, no, I used to work at Spurs. Obviously lived near there, so grew up within the vicinity of the ground. And now live in White Hart Lane in Liverpool.
Do you?
Because obviously that's
White
the
Hart
Tottenham,
Lane,
White Hart Lane. Yeah, Faye was like, we ain't fucking living there just because you want to live in White Hart Lane. I was like, come on, let's go and look at the house. Went to the house, you fell in love with it, so happy days.
Fucking quality.
Yeah.
What was the house? Is it like Ginola House or something like that, or something like?
It's not that bad.
It's actually the old Burberry factory manager's house, because Burberry started in Liverpool, believe it or not. Yeah, cause
Did it?
opposite. Yeah, two things started in Liverpool: Harley Davidson and Burberry.
Both done all right, haven't they?
Yeah.
So we always, we're trying. Obviously, this is all new still. This podcast, but we've talked a lot about talking about local stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd class Ely as local.
You're pushing it, but because the guest is from Ely.
Listen, the first podcast I was talking about a fucking boat in France or something, weren't I? And I called that.
Did you hear the first one? He was like, yeah. I said, what's local? And he said,
No, I
mate.
didn't. Say that.
He said, mate, you won't believe this.
So it was on the Cambridge Evening
there was
News,
a boat of
Cambridge
cocaine.
News. Yeah, the drug boat.
A boat of drug
Yeah,
boat
exactly.
in Cambridge, and I was like,
And the pun.
right, yeah.
Some geezer like singing.
He's not going to fucking leave me alone for that.
Oh, well, on it was in Cornwall. I said, all right,
Oh,
I was
well,
like,
this is
Aaron,
Ely anyway,
it's out-
so
it was
shut
a
up
boat
now.
in Cornwall. And he was like, yeah, but
Right.
what's sort of Cambridge News?
Fuck off.
The source was local.
I was
Nice.
slow
talking about
down
fucking
Cambridge,
Australia
wasn't
a minute ago, wasn't it? You know. Yeah. So, but I am keen. Like, we're going to probably talk about it on the next podcast. But there's a fella that I've met. Fucking shut up. There's a fella that I've met that's just done a free peak challenge for some charity. So I want to get him on and talk about that.
Yeah.
Also, some other local news. But anything in Ely that you want to talk about?
Oh, really?
No.
No. I don't really know what goes on in Ely.
This
We're
is exactly why we've started doing this, because I don't know what's going on
There's
in Cambridge either.
probably so much that goes on that nobody knows about.
That's what I want. That's
Do you
exactly
know what I
what I
mean?
want to try. These are all new at the moment. We're not getting many, but hopefully
We
people
will.
will come
It'll
to us
come.
and talk
It'll
to
come.
us.
It'll come.
Well,
It'll
that's
come.
Doesn't matter what it is, even if, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? Another thing as well. I looked before this because we're super unorganised, but I'll come to that. We've got a nice list here, and this is what made me laugh. In a minute, I'll come to that.
I know
You
exactly
can
what
shush.
you're going to bring up.
Right. So, I forgot what's going there. Right. I looked at the local news near us. It's all negative.
It is negative.
Oh my
All
god.
the news negative.
So we've got this week. Oh, let's do a little news roundup of the negative shit. We've got a little. Can we do a little negative news roundup? Here we go. People getting injected with HIV needles in all the nightclubs around the UK.
Yeah, Louis showed me that today.
Yeah. Right. Now,
Fucking hell.
it's
Mental.
People just run this by me again.
so someone's going into nightclubs in. I think it starts in Nottingham. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Please get in the comments. And injecting people to like girls are with like they're being drugged basically. But
Like
it's a-
the new way to do the like Rohypnol and all that.
Yeah, they're
Roofies.
just spiking people but actually injecting them with HIV needle. Now, this is a real like negative news story that's doing a circulation. Obviously, it's going viral. A couple of girls have been drugged in Nottingham, and this is now coming out off the back of it. And I don't know whether this story's been escalated or not. It's certainly gone viral, and I don't know whether they are HIV needles or not. But that's the story that's going out, and it's gone wild.
Apparently, one of them's got it.
Really,
Yeah, she's been died. Well, they've said that. So a girl told me today that could come into
just
the
going
shop.
around to Callum. Even Callum, you were saying, weren't you, Callum? That is.
Not just Nottingham now, Manchester, down south as well.
Yes, it's really spread all over the country.
But did you see the video today of a guy doing it to a girl?
No.
No, they basically did it as this is what it is. It is literally that quick.
I don't get it though.
It's-
I'm still lost. So why would they want to inject someone with HIV needle?
No,
What's the
because
reason?
they're
No, it's not with HIV. It's like it's a date rape.
Right.
Yeah, so you know they used to drop it in a drink and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Now they're injecting them,
Right.
and they're literally they're
but one of
go
them
all
got
funny
HIV.
and they pick them up and obviously take them off. and
Come
do
with
what
me,
they
love.
do.
You're going home like
Yeah.
some sort of nut of
And obviously
rapists.
do what they do, and then yeah. But one of the girls, it turns out, because you don't know how many times he's used that needle on how many people. Do you know what I mean? It's fucked up, mate. It's mental. But it's doing the rounds on TikTok and all that. But yeah, Louis showed me today, and it was just
Awful.
it was mad.
That's mad.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
them
very
geezers
negative,
need
that.
stringing up by the bollocks, don't they? Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
Do you know
they
what
need
I mean?
weighing in as well.
So
Have you got anything positive to say, Matt?
Yes, I've got some really positive, funny things to say about you.
Cheers.
So, Steve, last week we had like no notes. It was a great podcast. We really enjoyed it, but It's a bit like we're a bit caught short a little bit. And again, I haven't really done a lot this week. Again.
I know exactly what he's going to do.
But, so look, we've opened up a sort of a joint notes on our phones.
Right.
And I get a notification
Yeah.
when Aaron puts something in.
What, when he's had an idea?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I've got plans and notes
Don't want
in
to need
here
my glasses.
for the podcast. I'll read it out, Steve. You good? Here we go.
What?
First one. This is what Aaron said. I'm going to read it word for word. Tractors. Fucking tractors. Pull the fuck over when there's a queue behind you.
100%.
Thank you.
Can you talk about that?
I need to.
But saying
I
that,
said it all in that note.
they do it on the A10 between Littleport and Ely. There's a little fucking lay-by,
What happened, bruv?
and they're good. They do
What
pull
happened?
over.
Talk to us. What happened? Are you okay?
No, I'm
Are
not.
you okay? Have you moved on from it?
Such
That's
a cock.
very aggressive.
Mate, it's true.
He's out there trying to plough and crop.
No, not on the fucking main road, he ain't. You know what I mean? Fuck's
What
sake.
happened? Were you in a big queue?
Yeah.
Were you in a rush?
But for fucking ages.
You were
Yeah.
hungry, weren't you?
Yeah, no. I wasn't hungry. No. I wasn't hungry, nothing. And to be fair, mate, I don't give a shit. It takes me as long as it takes me to get places. I'm not bothered.
But pull over.
But fucking pull over. You know?
That's all it is, isn't it?
It's just pull over, you fucking twat.
I've got some real good mates that are farmers, so I can't
Yeah,
comment.
me too. I think he's been unreasonable.
Oh, fuck off.
So that is note number one. Note number two. This one for you, Anne. This is a bit positive. Is it? How'd you say it? Zavi. Zavi's mum's done a run.
Yes. So she's done a run. You haven't prepped me for this one, but yeah, no, she was very successful. And obviously Zavi is the one that I've done the first bit of charity for, so I always watch.
That was the one you
those.
posted about the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Was it yesterday or something? 4 years ago it come up, didn't it?
Mad.
Yeah.
Mad. And
Was she
it
raising
was
money
quite-
and
it
stuff?
Was, yeah, it was quite sweet actually, because obviously when I done the original charity post back 4 years ago and raised money for his stem cell treatment that he was going to America for, this cycle of stem cell that he's having, they've already got the funds because they've stacked that much in the charity that they can afford to do it. And I read that, I thought, that's fucking wicked.
Job
that
done,
is.
fucking well done.
Exactly. And then she done a run for, and pardon me here for not knowing exactly what it was, but I think it was for the same charity, do you know what I mean? To help other families. But so yeah, I made a note of that because I definitely wanted to talk about it.
Well, look, if anyone's listening now, number one, thank you very much. If you're listening on social media or watching on YouTube, please give the video a share because there is an element of goodness to this podcast, hopefully, where we can help
Definitely.
people moving forward, whatever it might be. We've got no boundaries here. Whether it's news, a positive charity thing, or maybe you want help with something, or a bit of guidance, or just a support behind you. Because I'll tell you, if anyone DMs me, Aaron, or I'll open this up to Steve as well. Maybe we'll tag your Instagram in this, Steve, or whatever. Drop someone a DM, and sometimes someone you don't know can be more beneficial than someone that might judge you from your inner circle. So look. That's a few things I've just said there, but ultimately, if you've got anything you want to talk about on here, or be a phoning guest, or you've got something good going on in your life, get in the comments, let us know, send us a DM, and let's move forward with it, because I think we've got to get people involved, don't we, Aaron?
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Like I say, the more and more we do this, that's what it's for. That's what I said in the first podcast. I want this podcast to have a lot of local positiveness and to help.
Hence why we've got the super talented Steve with us today, who's talking about.
Well, mate, I played it down.
shucks,
Played
thanks,
it
boys.
down a bit. He's one of my best mates. Fucking means a lot to me. This man.
It's nice to have someone that from tattooing. It's not something I've ever heard about being spoken about, so that's cool, isn't it? Like changing people's misconceptions and opening yourself up a bit, Steve. I thought that was really amazing, mate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I just wanted to come on and obviously tell people we ain't what they think we are. Do you know what I mean? And
Do you know what, though, Steve? I don't think it's like that anymore. Actually,
I think I see where he's
believe it or
coming
not,
from, but it's
but-
wearing off.
yeah,
isn't
and I
it?
think it's
It's
going the right way, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did a
100%.
radio interview with Ryan, which is how we met.
Yeah, give Ryan a shout
Yeah,
out.
Ryan
Shout out,
Taylor.
Ryan.
Up the Ryans.
Up
He-
the Ryans.
He used to, who was he? Star Radio, wasn't it?
Yep.
That he used to work for. So he come in, did a piece on the studio and all that sort of stuff. And one of the questions he asked me, and it's resonated me with since then, he said, when will it become completely acceptable to have a tattoo? And I said, it won't be. It never ever will be.
I think it will.
I don't think that because too many people have got an opinion of what they think it's, and it will never, and it's a shame. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot more acceptable now but it will never be 100% acceptable. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's taken me all over the world. I've met some fantastic people. I wouldn't change it for the world.
What
would not change it for the
Steve,
world.
other than your professional life, what do you do outside of work to switch off, and what do you really enjoy that's not tattooing?
Airbrushing.
Do you? So they're still very arty.
Yeah.
Still very creative.
Yeah. Well, I only tattoo 3 days a week, so I only do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Unless Aaron wants to come in, and obviously I'll make an exception. But yeah, it's the airbrushing more than anything, because I had to have a bit of time off. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I had to have surgery on my shoulder. Couldn't tattoo. It just literally.
What's the difference between airbrushing and tattooing then?
Don't hurt.
You're still off, so the brush is not like, it's not the, is it the weight of the gun?
Yeah, no. Obviously the tattooing, you've got the needle and everything else, and you're tattooing somebody. Do you know what I mean? With the airbrushing, I do motorbike tanks, mud guards, all that sort of. It's just paint, a different form of art, but it is just painting. And that's basically what it is.
You can do it on paper as well, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
What my confusion was that surely that you holding the airbrush gun would cause you the same pain as a...
No, so yeah, I get what you mean now. Sorry, I basically hold it 2 hands. Yeah, so when
an airbrush gun is double-hander.
Yeah, so when you...
I know how that feels.
So did I when I tattooed mate's dick.
Yeah.
Right, so listen, I don't want to get crashed. It was like a rogue elephant.
Fucking old boy.
Carry on, Steve.
So you did, but you weren't airbrushing after your op, though, was you?
No, that's why I started airbrushing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because obviously before my op, because I was going to be out for 8 months, so there was no way I could tattoo for 8 months.
That's a big hit, man, isn't it?
Yeah, so she said to me, "Is there anything you want to do in them 8 months that's going to keep you busy? Because I don't want you under my feet, because I'm a fucker when I ain't got nothing to do. Do you know what I mean? I'll get bored quick."
There's only so many things you can do in the garden.
Exactly, and obviously if I've got one arm, there's only certain things you can do with one arm.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But there's
even that after the 6th and 7th attempt, it gets fucking pretty boring.
definitely go blind. But yeah, no,
the
it's
carpet burns. Honestly, it's like a Chinese burn.
So she hooked me up with. She said, "What is it?" So I said, "I've always wanted to learn how to airbrush." So she got me on a course. I didn't know who the course was with. Turns out to be one of the best airbrush artists in the world. And this guy taught me, Drew Blair. Incredible. The guy is phenomenal. He's an alien, as far as I'm concerned, because he ain't human. With what he can do, it's incredible. And thankfully, I got on 4 of his courses. And them courses, like spaces on them courses are like rocking all shit.
Yeah.
It's just null and void. Do you know what I mean? So I got on them courses. I just fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. And it was because of that. And it helped me through, obviously, the period of time where I couldn't tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, so I just sat there and, I mean, obviously look on my Instagram and all that sort of stuff.
Thing is, though, Steve, you've got transferable skills there.
Yeah.
And if it's not causing you pain, that seems like a wicked thing to do.
Yeah. But with obviously the tattooing, sitting down, it's like when I tattoo Aaron, I can say to him after an hour.
The conversation must be horrible.
I can say to him, "Mate, I've had enough," and he's like, "Yeah, that's fine," because my shoulders hurt and my back's hurt and my eyes are fucked or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But when you're airbrushing, you can literally sit there 20 minutes, you can do a bit. If something starts hurting, you stop, have a smoke, have a cup of tea, and then you go back to it. You know that what you're painting isn't waiting for you to finish. It'll be there in 2 weeks' time. You can just pick up where you left off
On your own terms a little bit.
Exactly, and it helps me out, you know. But yeah, I
shitting yourself a little bit
it.
on the last tattoo you did for me, weren't you?
Oh, big time.
What happened?
Portraits, mate. They're just...
Is that tough?
Yeah, mentally.
You know, to draw
draining.
What would you say you're a specialist in then? Portraits? No,
I wouldn't say I'm specialist in anything, to be honest with you. I'm a bit of jack of all, master of none.
I don't think there's many people that are tattoo Corys, though. Could say you're a specialist in that.
Well, I've only done one.
I think I'd like that, to be fair.
Yeah, I've done one.
The Corey specialist.
No, don't say that. I'm joking.
Listen, if anyone wants to... Listen, guys, we're going to put it out there.
Don't do it to him,
It's obviously going to get tagged in a lot of the tattoo world and the community. Hopefully we're going to get into your community. If anyone looking to get their Corey tattooed, or whatever it might be.
He will wear a glove.
You know, I'd actually pay for the first person to say yes. I'll pay for it. I want flames up the shaft, multiple colours.
Only if I can do old school hot rod flame.
Yeah, all right.
With a car on it.
That's a
Now,
genuine.
do you want it from the helmet going back, or do you want it from the root going up?
I'll let them
Boot
decide.
up.
Well, I think it'd be helmet
No,
back.
helmet back,
Helmet
like a shooting rocket or something.
You
Yeah, it's gotta be.
He's really thinking about this, isn't you? Fucking cock with flames on it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's pretty cool, actually.
No, it fucking ain't.
Could you imagine the sort of the extra power that'll give you on the thrusts?
I remember seeing a
It's
woman
like go fast
that
as
had
stripes
a
on a car.
sort of line shaved and then had a picture of a lawnmower in it.
Yeah.
She'd had it tattooed.
Yeah.
Well, that was fucking quality.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones out
There isn't there?
Yeah,
Like
they've
that,
had their buttholes tattooed and everything. It's mental.
they're not. I think you see in America, don't you? Some really funny people get some really funny stuff done, don't they?
Yeah.
Why don't we put in the comments now on YouTube? Put your funniest
There's a
tattoo stories in.
program for it now as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
I see them on Facebook all the time where the partner sets their other partner up.
Oh
they
my
have
god,
some
so
Fucking hate
bad.
them programs.
It's fucking some of the stuff they
We
have
have
done.
done everything, right, for the past 15, 20 years to try and get tattooing out of the gutter, and them fuckers are putting it back in.
Oh, did you? There was
Yeah,
one I
to be
saw.
fair, I've never thought about it like
There
that,
was-
Steve. That's
It's-
true.
They're
awful.
making a mockery of it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are making a mockery of it, because what's happening is you're getting people on there who have stupid tattoos just so they can get on telly. Do you know what I mean? We've been asked to do TV shows and everything, right? Now, we actually met up with a producer from a certain TV channel, and we said to him, right, we're interested in doing a show, and it's one of the big shows that's out there at the moment. We're interested in doing it, but we would want to see it before it was aired. And they was like, oh, no, we can't do that. So we said, we can stick it up your arse because we ain't putting ourselves on the line.
No, why should you?
Do you know what I mean?
So what,
And
what happens
thankfully-
is what is saying they've got they film they'll film 2 weeks worth of work and they can edit that a bit like Big Brother. You only see what they've edited and stuff, so they can out of a 5-minute chat they can chop and change it so we can say something completely different and really paint people in a real
100%.
negative.
Yes, that's just
It's a bit slimy, and they need to position you and their thing to fit their narrative.
Yeah, what I would like to see is a tattoo show that shows the artist as they are and the talent they've got and showcase what they can do
Well,
instead of stupid people like wanting to get on TV and will do anything like have a crap tattoo on their back. You telling me these people don't know what's going on their back before it goes on there?
Quick
Do you
one
know
for
what
you.
I mean?
Just come to my mind. I mentioned this on a podcast. I'm doing up a B tour at the minute to give away to charity. If someone that wins it has got something heart wealth that we've talked about, you'll airbrush it for them.
100%.
Look at that.
And I'll do it here and all.
Sweet. So
Take me
whoever
up.
wins it, if they want it doesn't have to be like fucking all over the bonnet, but maybe just a little signature somewhere.
Yeah. 100%.
Edge.
Not a problem.
Wicked.
So the last thing on my notes to talk about today
Is my coffee.
we can talk about that as well. Is your thing today, Aaron, at the Careers Day?
Oh, that was nerve wracking, mate.
Mate, can I just say, so he said he's going to do this presentation. He said, I'm really nervous, mate. We spoke to him on the phone this morning. We talk a lot. He's a legend. And he said, I'm really nervous, mate. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to this thing. And then he posted a picture and it was at Careers Day. And in my head, I was like, fucking get up there, boy. I was like, that's brilliant. What happened? Did you actually speak to anyone? Or like?
Yeah. So they, there was 10 groups of 5. And you have to do a presentation in front of all
And
10
you
of
were
them.
asked to go and do it, were you?
Yeah.
So the same presentation 10.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay,
Do you know
no.
what though? Every time I presented it, I did it fucking different. I've done it with Erica as well, and I'll give her a massive shout out. Like I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. She's fucking.
How did you? I've got a lot of questions here, mate. So you're old school.
Yeah. So how did it transpire? I took a phone call from a teacher that was there when I was there a while back, and he was trying to get hold of someone. And anyway, we got on a conversation about how I was doing a bit for charity and all that sort of stuff, and that I'd help the school out if we ever needed it. And then I just got an email out of the blue, and I'm not aware of who she is. She obviously works for Compton Village College, and she just asked if I'd come in and jump on the Careers Day. And obviously
Amazing.
They put all this, Savills there and all sorts of, big
What,
companies.
Jimmy?
there. Jimmy Savile.
What, at college?
That's why he's there, bruv.
Jesus.
I mean, they had him behind a fucking cage. But,
Got some sweets.
but yeah, no, it's good, mate, and I appreciate you you acknowledging it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
mate. I
Appreciate
think it's wicked. I'll put it out there right now. If anyone wants me to come to their careers day, I think it's amazing. Like having someone like you there. God, could you imagine when you were a kid, seeing someone who didn't get?
Do you know what?
Hang on,
Honestly,
seeing someone who didn't get the grades, who didn't excel in whatever you might, I'm saying in history or geography. What that teacher told you would be the end of your world if you didn't get fucking a C. Fuck off, Mrs. Jones. Bit of hard work, a bit of elbow grease, bit of persistence,
Never
belief,
hurt no one, mate.
and a bit of confidence will get you somewhere. And I think that's amazing. They've had the foresight to take someone out of
appreciate it.
the system,
Yeah.
to come and talk to their little youngsters and these young, fresh minds about the future of their career.
It is mad when you sit and look at them and watch them, and then you take yourself back to how you felt back then. And
It's not even about like if they want to be a mechanic or running a garage. It's about, listen, guys, you can do whatever you want. Just do, you know. Why don't you tell us what your position was on it? Like, what did you say to him?
I was honest with them and said that obviously, you know, I didn't do that very well in my GCSEs. Half of the fucking lessons I got kicked out of, so not really do very well if you're not there, can you? But and then I explained that obviously I had to resit them when I went to college, and that took time and, you know, extended the time it took to qualify and do anything I wanted to do. But yeah, no, I don't know really. It was just really interesting, mate, and engaging with them. And
How old were they, the kids?
so they were year 10. So what's that? 14, 15, I think. But you know, I think there was 2, and when there's a big stage at the back of the room. So when they'd finished, the teacher would say, "Everyone back to back to your seats," and they all gave us a round of applause at the end of it. And then you know what it's like when they say, "Right, you know, you can leave now. It's home time," and there's these kids, you know, steaming out, and these 2 lads come from nowhere, just come and shook my hand and said, like fair play to you. Like, thanks,
But that's
for
what
you
it's
did.
all about.
And that's what made it for me. I just thought,
Yeah.
look,
but
and he asked for one of my business cards and took one of my leaflets, and I just thought, you know.
Yeah, but how do you know he ain't going to walk in through your door in 6 months' time?
Oh,
It would have been a bit
does.
creepy. Would have been a
And
bit creepy. I said you would take my number, bro. If you ever need any assistance, let me know. But you can't be giving out your number, I suppose, to kids.
Well,
Or is that not? Is that okay? Have I got a sick mind?
You've got a sick mind, but I know you weren't being sick then.
No, I said, listen, bro. If you ever want any advice,
No,
mate, come and fucking give me a message. No problem.
That's, you know, he took my business card and stuff, and when I explained that I do work experience, so they can come here and do work experience. Is that something you offer?
Work experience, we can't.
Why?
Insurance, because obviously the needles and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Clinical waste.
Could you not push it a bit?
Nah.
It's a shit, isn't it?
Nah,
Please.
because the kids come in for the,
What can you do out the back? Like, you know, like
come in for the
off
wrong
the
reasons.
books. I like. Hey,
Next time you renew your insurance, mate, just say, "See you, you fucking."
No, I mean, we've been approached by the colleges. I've been approached by colleges to go in and talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
I just think it's nice to hear from someone out of the fucking norm. You know, on our careers days, used to get a fireman, someone from the police force, someone from a local accountancy firm and stuff.
What? That's what we're gonna do.
No, at my careers day and that sort of thing.
Sorry, right.
I think what my point is, I'd love to have met on mine someone like you.
Thanks,
It
mate.
wouldn't take me till 27 or 28 to start my own shit, but
Well, that's it. I mean, if we can show them that it can be done, do you know what I mean? I come from nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm lucky that I got Faye. She pushes me every single day to be better every single day. You know, and yeah, well, it's fantastic. And but
What did she think to you doing the podcast? Out of interest, did she say, "Right, don't fucking say that"?
Don't
And make
talk
sure you
about
don't
when
talk
she
about
didn't
that.
actually.
don't talk about when you slipped over in the shower and a plug went up your ass, something like that. Like, I don't know.
No, she was not. No, go for
Why
it.
was that the first story I thought of in my mind, in my imagination?
Every time you think of something that involves an arse,
Was it?
we need to talk about this after the show.
I see something on social media the other day. Fucking hell, that was nasty. Geezer done a dive like the, you know, when you bomb into a swimming pool.
Holy shit! On the way in.
No, he was doing it into a fountain, like a pond with a fountain. But what he didn't realise was that it had little fountains everywhere, all the way around the edge. Literally,
Spearmint rhino.
straight up the hoop.
Fuck.
He come out and it was pissing with blood.
Slightly change the subject. You know, I brought up about these people sitting in the road and holding the fucking roads up. You know, that's a big bugbear of mine. I see this clip, and this bird's pulled up in this Range Rover, and she's like, "Oh, I've got to take my fucking kid to school."
Oh, was that today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I didn't see it. I've heard about it.
He's only fucking 11. You know, you need to move. And she gave him about 2 or 3 chances, bless her. Fuck this. Got back in the car, mate. Fucking slid them all across the road, didn't she?
No!
Honestly, mate.
Did she?
Done a lot.
Skidding their asses along the course. She was just pushing them along. I said, fucking good girl. It needed to happen.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? Do you know what? We spoke about this on the first
Yes.
one, man. It's still going on.
It's in the one where the guy ties the guy up to the fence with his sign.
Did he really?
No.
Gets his bag, puts a sign through his bag, ties him to the fence.
What, so that he can't get back on the road?
Drags him on. Ties him up.
But it's going to get to the point where people are going to go start weighing them out, aren't they?
We said that I think if I was... Like,
We did say we're going to do some live podcasts, and it could be something that we're going to get involved in, mate.
I'll be there. Can I
Yeah,
come?
absolutely.
I'll
Absolutely.
just growl at 'em.
So, another thing, everyone. Just growl at 'em.
Tattoo gun out.
So you see me, I'm tattooed. I'm well hard.
I'll just go and hit 'em with a lump of rock.
Just take your shooter. Do you want to move, mate? Yeah, good old boy. Good old boy. I can't hear. So I'll take the gun out your mouth. Yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
Quality.
All right, cool. So we've got a phone-in facility that we've worked out we can use on this.
Who we go on, phone someone quickly.
Who should we phone? I just want to phone someone.
I'll give you a number.
Should I phone my dad and ask him about tattoos?
Yeah,
that-
do it. Ask if you can have one.
Yeah. Here we go. There we go. That's good. So my dad is 75, very anti-tattoos.
Okay.
Is Steve allowed to get involved in the conversation?
No.
No, all right.
No, because it goes sideways. He doesn't understand. Fuck me, this is going to be embarrassing.
Hello?
Hello, Dad, you all right?
Yeah.
Dad, I need to do a disclaimer, Dad. You're live on like a podcast, which is a little bit like a radio.
Yeah.
You're live now, Dad, all right? So be careful what you say.
Yeah.
You can swear, but
Yeah. All right. Yeah. What?
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good stuff, Dad.
You all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Thanks for picking up the phone. So, Dad, I'm having a really good discussion at the moment with a tattoo artist. We're talking about the change in mentality of tattoos. I said you're not a big tattoo lover or fan.
No, I'm not. They look good on people when they're young, but when they get old and wrinkly, they look terrible.
Oh, there we go.
And I feel the same way about earrings and for men and that, and
Bless you. Everyone's yes.
and
You
long
can't.
hair and that with bobs and that. Yeah, I don't not into that.
Well, they've asked me to phone you to see if I can get a tattoo, Dad.
You what? Sorry.
Am I allowed to get a tattoo yet, Dad, or am I old enough to make my own decisions, or am I
Well, you're
still?
old enough to make your own decision now, but one of the things was when you were younger, I said, no motorbikes, no tattoos, no earrings, didn't I?
Yeah, and no smoking or drugs.
And no drugs.
You're allowed to get wet.
All right, Dad. Well, I'm pleased to announce I have no plans to get a tattoo ever. I'm good with it. But I just wanted to phone you up and test the phone call facility.
Yeah.
Do you want to say hello to Steve and Aaron, Dad?
Pardon?
Say hello to him, boys.
Hello.
Hello, Dad. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm just about to watch Man United beat Atlanta, hopefully.
Good old boy.
Let's hope so, mate. Eh?
Yeah.
All right, Dad.
Okay then.
Love you.
Bye.
See you
later.
later.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.
So, like I said to you, he's right out of that generation.
That could have gone fucking seriously wrong, that.
No, he's all right, mate. He's good. He's an absolute. I love him to bits. He's just that kind of. That's all he knows. Yeah, Tatum's probably moved forward since he was
My mind is just going, who can I ring? Who can I ring?
It's going to be to end up in one of these calling shows, isn't it? There we go. We can call people, everyone.
Yeah, we can call
So-
that call. We'll get a little number going.
So, obviously, it doesn't go out live. That does it. If you've know anyone and wants to, we could go on live on your Facebook now. And I don't know, but should we wrap it up? Anything else you guys want to talk about?
What
Get
have
off
we
your
missed,
chest?
Steve? What have we missed?
I've missed Tegan.
Okay.
My newest apprentice.
Hello, Tegan.
Amazing little
Tegan,
artist.
strong name.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's the only one I ain't mentioned from the shop. So,
So is this podcast going to go out in the studio, yeah?
oh, yeah.
Bang it out on Spotify.
100%.
Wicked.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a
Hello,
doubt.
everyone listening in the shop right now. And if you're not listening in the shop, get down there. Can we do like a little discount code for anyone who wants to go in the shop and just for it can only reference a secret word that we decide now?
You'd have to run that by Faye.
No, let's just do it now.
No, all right, when you say
Use the
discount, it's
code.
like
Use the
fucking
discount code Corey.
2%.
Corey.
Use the discount code Corey for 5% off that. I can surely we can get that over the line. There we go.
5% off your first hour.
There we go.
Yeah, good shout.
All right.
Yeah, Faye will be
I've
right
got
with
your
that
back,
one.
mate.
Yeah,
I've got your
thanks,
back.
brother.
I'll pay for it. Fuck
Nice one.
it. All right. I remember I'm paying for the Corey stuff.
So the secret word's Corey.
Yes.
So if somebody comes into the shop, walks up to the front desk, and
Just
says to my wife, Corey.
Or if they get the Corey out, we get 10%.
No. We're going too far now. We'll get you back on in a few weeks. You can tell us about how many Coreys have been in.
Yeah. I'll see what.
So how have you enjoyed this, Steve?
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Nice to talk, isn't it?
It is
Sometimes.
nice. Yeah, I was nervous to come on. I ain't gonna lie.
Obviously,
No,
we're,
I was nervous to do it. I still get nervous doing it now.
we're filming it for YouTube, but ultimately this is probably going to be listened to the most on Apple and Spotify, which probably people listening to it now. And there's something beautiful about the power of the spoken word. I think that in this day and age, that's why podcasting is becoming so popular, because it's nice to dive deeper into subjects without any sort of time constraints on you. You know, we're an hour and 36 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Feels like we just started, and we could probably talk for another 2 hours.
Oh, 100%.
That is the beauty of this. You can dive so deep into subjects with no time constraints, and it's a bit like therapy. And I think I've really enjoyed it. And thanks for coming on. And
thanks for having me.
Mate, lots of love.
Love you, mate.
nice one, bruv. Nice to meet
Cheers,
you.
mate. Thank you.
So, Aaron, how are you going to get through this week if you see a tractor?
Right. I'm not going to write it in the fucking notes that I share with you. And
I think it's been the highlight.
I'm going to get some blue lights and sirens and pull him over.
And the first time someone comes into my shop and says the word Corey, you two cunts are getting a phone call.
Yeah.
You're
So remember,
paying for it.
Yeah, Matt's
Yeah.
paying for it, yeah. Quality.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this, boys.
Thank you very much.
enjoyed it a lot. Another amazing guest on the podcast. Should I do a little sign up? Yeah, you happy with that?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
You do
Another
most
amazing.
of the talking anyway, so you want to
Fuck about. Well, if you want me to shut up more, get in the comments and let us know. I'm all ears. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, God bless. Hit the subscribe button, please. Obviously, it's a new podcast, fledgling numbers. But hopefully, where there's a bit of will and passion, this is going to grow into something decent, because we're highlighting good things, I hope. We're getting on great guests with a good story, talking from somewhere real.
Do you want to announce one of our guests that's coming up, or are you going to say no?
Nah.
I knew he was going to say
We've got good quality guests coming up with, I think it will just build into just good people. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Good energy, good people, good stories. I think that's probably what's going to set us apart down the line, I reckon, mate.
It's going to help us, mate, isn't it? It's going to help us. All I care about is that it helps push the word out where we need it.
And if you've got something to say, like I said earlier, a story, something positive, please. Or someone you want us to ring.
Yeah, no, genuinely up for it.
Even a prank, radio style. Phone call. We can have it done.
You've won
Yeah.
£30,000.
So on that note, everyone, thank you very much for listening.
Steve.
I've
thank you
absolutely
again, mate.
loved it. Steve,
Cheers,
thank you
guys.
for coming on. Really appreciate your time. Aaron,
Thanks for
you're a
having me.
superstar, mate. Thanks for hosting us. And as per the beginning of this video, it was sponsored by AG Chuffin Motors.